Hello there. Today, I want to give you guys a quick updated tutorial of how to do the endless spin, otherwise known as the Obi-Ani. So we're going to take it step by step. Always remember that speed will come, so you want to just start off slow. So the first thing that we're going to practice is the wrist roll. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to hold it out with the blade up vertically, and then just let it drop, and then what you're going to do is you're actually going to let the blade swing behind your arm. And then you just correct. So you actually end up letting go of the saber with your fingers, and you're just holding it there with your thumb, and you're just letting it roll. So just practice that. When you get comfortable with the wrist roll, then what you can do is the second step, which is you do your wrist roll, but then on the second, you're actually going to let the saber go out, and you're actually going to move your hand so that now your blade is pointing down. And it's going to be continuing to go in that circle, and it's actually going to end up behind your back. And as you notice here, you can't really spin it anymore. So what you're going to do is you're going to let the hilt swing in front of you while you twist your torso, so that it ends up coming back to our starting position. So again, wrist roll, then let it go down behind your back, twist, let the hilt swing, and then all the way up. So let's connect that all together smoothly. So again, you just want to start slow, practice all of the movements, and eventually you'll notice that as you go, the movements won't look as exaggerated. Having this wrist roll like that, kind of doing that where your elbow comes up like that. That's more just for illustration purposes, kind of going behind the back. You don't necessarily have to swing all the way out here, but initially while you're getting the movements, it's helpful just to kind of over-exaggerate that to get your muscle memory, basically. But as you start to get a little smoother with it, as the momentum, you're going to let a lot of the momentum, especially if you have a very well-balanced saber. So this saber, it's actually fairly well-balanced right there at the emitter. If you have the balance point out to here, that'll work pretty good too. But what you really want to try to avoid is where the balance point is out here. So if I was to hold the blade out here, this is actually a bit harder to do because the blade wants to really spin out of control. What you want is just a little bit more weight on the blade side, because that will help you do things like the wrist roll. Without really controlling the blade, I'm just letting it drop, just letting gravity do the work. And like I said, speed will come. But now that we've got that down, let's try it with a double. So again, with the double, you want to find the balance point. So this is right in the middle of the saber, but there's a little bit more weight on this blade. And as you can see, that's the blue blade. We've got the green blade over here. So what I'm going to do is, since the blue blade is a little heavier, I'm actually going to have that be my starting point. So the heavier blade is pointing up, and you just basically do the same thing. You do the wrist roll. Practice that wrist roll. And the green blade will come in front of you, or rather the bottom blade, as it were. But you just kind of do the same motion. So wrist roll, then you're going to point the top blade down, and that blade's going to go behind your back. And this way, instead of the hilt, now you have your bottom blade is actually swinging in front of you. And eventually when you get that down, you can actually swap hands. So we'll start with the left now. So again, and I'm going to do this with a gloved hand, so once you get proficient, you can actually have gloves on and it won't even matter. So wrist roll, behind the back, swing in front. When you get that proficient, you may even be able to do 2 at a time or even with 2 stabs. And if you try that, always start with one first. And as soon as this gets down behind my back, I'm going to start the other one. that was my tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, the Force will be with you.